If you've been watching or paying attention at all, you know from my other Zelda talks that I've often brought up the idea of the Zelda timeline, and the fact that the Nintendo franchise as well as the creator have said multiple times that there is no Zelda timeline. Every single Zelda game is meant to be taken as its own separate entity. But I intend to prove that this is a false statement. Clearly, if you read the instructions and the stories that are in the instruction booklets, you will see obvious connection between the games. The background stories given in the instruction booklets tell that certain events happen after certain games or certain adventures. A Link's Awakening comes to mind. Now, I don't have the instruction book on hand. I'll have to look it up and find it, but I'm fairly certain from memory that the thing says since Link's last adventure, Link goes on this quest, blah 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 blah. Well, his last adventure was the last game that it came out. So obviously people made the connection that those two games were linked to each other, no pun intended. But, you know, there's been so much debate on what is the right timeline because Nintendo, for obvious reasons, has refused to give us an actual timeline. When I say obvious reasons, let me go ahead and spell out those obvious reasons just in case you don't really know what they are. Well, basically Nintendo is afraid to lose our money and our revenue from buying these games. If they released an official timeline, then the people who didn't like that timeline might stop buying their product, and they would receive a ton of mail saying how wrong their timeline is. They probably receive a bunch of mail from people as it is, and they have a standard response letter that they send out whenever you ask them about the Zelda timeline. And essentially that response says there is no Zelda timeline, so don't waste your time. If they had a Zelda timeline, they'd have to send out a much bigger letter explaining their Zelda timeline, and your argument, whatever it might be, would be discarded as a useless effort, and that would make you mad at them and you might stop buying their product. The fact that they have no timeline makes us mad at them, but we forgive them because we can still invent our own timeline. Essentially, we're given license to create our own timeline in the way we want. But you know what? This frustrates me. So there's only one choice that I have. I must Shedifiy the Zelda timeline. In order to do this, I'm going to grab YouTubers from around the globe, well, okay, whoever I can get together, and these YouTubers will know a lot about Zelda, and we will discuss in depth the Zelda timeline and then how Nintendo has proven themselves with their own writings on how different Zelda games connect together. We will do this, and we will once and for all put to rest that there is no Zelda timeline. Yeah, it's time to get it Shedified. That's coming soon, whenever I can get it together on this channel. Yeah, Shedified Zelda timeline. Woo!